Shalom. Kal halal Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai Bashem Harakakadash. I pray to Lord of Israel, the Heavenly Father Yahweh, and the Heavenly Son Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, and the Heavenly Mother Harakakadash. I pray to Lord of Israel, Allah and only. Amen. Psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists in the Western society got four advantages, at the very least, according to what I'm thinking right now. Okay, and in my mind, what I'm thinking right now, in my mind, they got at least four advantages. Okay, in the Western society, you got psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists. They will always be justified, protected, blessed, and rewarded by the police, if just in, by the lawyers and by the judges, just in case if, let's say, if a problem happens between a psychopath, narcissist, sociopath against a codependent, or against the empathic narcissist, or against the empath. Generally speaking, if an evil person fights against the good person, he will be condemned, especially if the good person is religious, he will be condemned even more furtherly. And the bad person, who's a witch and warlock, psychopath, narcissist, and sociopath, they're going to be justified and protected and blessed. And the good person, the animals, the nature, they will even accuse the animal as the abuser, but really they're the real abusers. Okay, like for example in SPCA, how they accuse the animals are being abusive, but really the real abusers ones are the ones who run the SPCA. Okay, which is the animal prison in Canada. But nevertheless, the witches and warlocks, psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists, they're going to be justified and protected and blessed and rewarded. And the good people, they're going to be cursed, punished, and condemned and attacked. So the first advantages, they're witches and warlocks, they got, they're psychopaths, narcissists, and sociopaths. That's their first advantage. They're psychopaths, narcissists, and sociopaths. They're going to be justified and protected by the authority. Second advantage, if the psychopaths, narcissists, and sociopaths are wicked Edomites, aka if they are so-called white people, and white people, they're not white people, they are the real red people. Edom in Hebrew means red. The Caucasian people, the wicked Edomites, okay, the so-called white people, are the fake white people actors. They are the real red people bears, because the real white people are the Aramites, the Armenians. Okay, so their second advantage, if the psychopath got the second advantage, he is as a white person, like as a so-called white person. Because in Canada and the Western society, there's something called white privilege, where white people, no matter what they do, they're always going to be the right ones. And no matter what others do, they're always going to be the villains and the wrong ones. And white people, they're always going to be look as the heroes and the right ones. Okay? So the second advantage, white privilege. If the psychopath is the so-called white man, he's going to be getting second advantage because he's having white privilege. And the third advantage, if the psychopath, who is a so-called white person, who is in the position of power as a police officer, as a lawyer, as a judge, as a politician leader, as a military soldier, as a Christian pastor, as a businessman, okay, whatever, okay. If the psychopath who is a so-called white man who is in the position of power, that's their third advantage. Because think about it. If a police officer or a lawyer or a judge, and the judge who worships Satan and he do things wickedly, he judge wickedly, like he make the good person evil and the evil person good, okay, and they justify the bad people and they condemn the good people and the animals and nature. How are you going to be seeking justice? You're going to be seeking justice from criminals against other criminals? Of course not. And these judges and police officers and lawyers and judges and military soldiers and politician leaders and Christian pastors and businessmen and actors and nurses and doctors, that's a big one, okay? All of those are basically career criminals who are also something else in the position of powers. They're high level of Satanists and they're psychopaths, narcissists, and sociopaths, okay? They're all psychopathic, covert narcissists, psychopaths, and sociopaths, okay? They are high level of Satanists. They are career criminals who are also something else in the position of powers. Okay, so basically they live double lives. On the outside, they come to you as a doctor, as a nurse, as a police, as a lawyer, as a judge. But on the inside, secretly behind closed doors, they are career criminals. Okay, okay, and what happened is these people, they got justified by the police, by the authority, by the lawyers, by the judges, and they got away with it. Okay, so the third advantage is if they are in the position of power, they're going to be getting an advantage. Okay, because they're the ones who are going to arrest whomever they want and condemn and justify whomever they want. They're going to attack and curse good people, especially if good people are religious, like the codependents, empaths, and empathic narcissists, and animals and natures. And they're going to justify and protect and bless and reward this other psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists who are not in the position of power. Okay, and their fourth advantage, of course, their witchcraft, black magic, and demonic powers. That's their fourth advantage. So every single psychopath, narcissist, sociopath in the Western society, they got fourth advantages. Four advantages. They're psychopaths, narcissists, sociopaths. That's their first advantage because they're going to be justified and other people they're going to be condemned, like codependents and empaths. Second advantage, if they're so-called white people, aka real red people, fake white people, actors, the so-called white people, like wicked Edomites, the real red people. That's their second advantage because there's something called white privilege, aka red privilege. Because white people, they're not white Christians, they are red Satanists who worship Lucifer, Satan, and they're witches and warlocks. Their third advantage, if they are in the position of power, okay, that's their third advantage. Of course, you can't arrest a police officer. The only one who can arrest the police officer in the West Society and the lawyer and the judge is only God and the angels. That's it. That's the only hope. Okay, so that's their third advantage, them being in the position of power. And the fourth advantage, they got their demonic powers and their witchcraft powers and their black magic and demonic and witchcraft powers. That's their fourth advantage. Now, most of the people who are good here, and like most of the good people who are in the Western society, most of them are hopeless slaves. But the very few good people are hopeful kinks because we got no advantage. Whether psychopaths, narcissists, sociopaths, they got four advantages. So in order for us to be hopeful kinks, we need to have a single one biggest advantage. And that single one biggest advantage, that's Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakakadash. Okay, this one biggest advantage can take the other four advantages down instantly. Because if you don't got Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Kakadash, you're going to be a hopeless slave. And if you got Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Kakadash, you will have angels surround you. And know you won't get angels from New Age and white magic. You'll only get angels and Yahweh Shai from believing in Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Kakadash. Okay? That's how you got the angels surrounding you. So when you got this spiritual supernatural powers, unlimited spiritual supernatural powers, you're going to bless whomever you want to bless and curse whomever you want to curse. And you can ruin someone's life or you can save someone's life. And of course, I'm not going to save and bless wicked people's life. I'm going to save and bless good people's lives and animals and natures. And I'm going to ruin and curse bad and wicked and evil people's lives. Okay? Okay? I'm going to curse and punish and ruin evil people's lives, not by my own will, but by the will of God and His angels. Okay? So, the biggest one advantage that some of the good people got is Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Kakadash. And when you are a good person and you believe in Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Kakadash, that makes you holy and good. Not only good, holy and good. Good and holy. And when you are good and holy, that makes you righteous. Okay? So only chosen ones, empaths, can take the narcissists, psychopaths, and sociopaths down. And the psychopaths, narcissists, and sociopaths, they're all witches and warlocks. And psychopaths and narcissists and sociopaths, they possess limited supernatural powers, limited spiritual supernatural powers, limited spiritual supernatural powers, limited. But the chosen one empaths, we possess unlimited spiritual supernatural powers, unlimited. So the only one who can take the psychopath, narcissist, sociopath, especially the psychopath, the only one who can take the psychopaths down are the chosen ones, not by our own will. We don't fight against them physically by our own will, but we fight against them spiritually and physically by the will of Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakakadash. By us praying to the Lord, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Kakadash, to send legions of angels to wage curses and wars and attacks on our behalf of against all psychopaths, narcissists, and sociopaths, and against all of their demons, and against the demons who control their demons, and against their evil spirits, against their Lucifer and the Jezebel evil spirits. In the name of Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Kakadash, I pray to Lord, if it's all on only Amen.